The first thing is that throughout much of junior high and high school, I got to participate on my school swim and water polo team. And I was really lucky because I got to participate in a division that had some really talented water polo teams. A few of the teams that we competed against regularly were known throughout the state of California as being some of the best water polo teams. Unfortunately, my team wasn't one of those teams that was winning all the time. Because of that, throughout the 5 years that I did water polo, we really only won a handful of our games. And as you can imagine, that got to be really debilitating for us. We just decided after a point in time that we weren't going to measure our success based on our record anymore, because that wasn't getting us anywhere. And instead, we were just going to look at where we had been, come to practice, work hard, and look at where we're at now. And I began to view that it's kind of like a life lesson where, regardless of how good or bad things are going in your life, you can't just give up. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep trying hard. What I take away from that is that, in the future, if I fail, I can still come back and I can still succeed. And I know that I'll succeed in BYU's nursing program and in my future as a nurse. The next thing that I feel relevant to share with you has to do with my relationships with other people. As I mentioned in my application questions, I work as a phlebotomist and a donor center technician at a plasma center. And at this center, I've developed this reputation among my coworkers as being the employee who is friends with all the other donors. Now, it's not like I'm Michael Scott. I don't have this compulsive need to be liked by everyone that overrides all other concerns in life, but rather, I love my interactions with donors. I developed this reputation because I love to get to know these donors as people, and I love to make these stressful situations for some people less unnerving for them, and I love to lead them with a more positive experience because I know for the next hour that they're going to have a needle in their arm and might not be super comfortable. And I'll bring that same approach into this nursing program and into my future career as a nurse practitioner. I had this experience early on in my mission where my companion had come up to me and told me that some of my ideas that I had for how we should spend some of our time weren't actually going to be a good use of our time, but then followed that statement with some solutions to fix the problem that he saw. I learned several really good techniques for how to deal with disagreements in a non-confrontational way. Just a few transfers after that, I got to train a missionary of my own, and he, like I did, had lots of ideas that I knew from experience just weren't going to work the way he was anticipating them working. And it was in these moments that I got to mimic how my previous companion had dealt with arguments. I got to acknowledge and express appreciation for him contributing and trying. I got to explain to him how I had done some of those things in the past and why they didn't work, but then offer some solutions or some tweaks to his ideas that would make them a little more effective, and ask what he thought we should do. So in summary, I think you should accept me into your program because Stuart Smalley said, "I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me."